Movies are great at showing us the impossible, but not everything you see on screen can survive a real-world science check. Today, we're busting 5 famous movie myths with cold, hard science. So let's get into it. Myth: cars can jump between buildings from Fast and Furious 7. Fast cars, skyscrapers, and physics-bending stunts, Fast and Furious 7 took action to new heights when Dom and Brian jump a car between 2 buildings. But how realistic is this? Let's do a quick physics check. First off, once a car leaves the ground, it's a projectile. That means it's fully at the mercy of gravity. Even at high speeds, the car wouldn't glide through the air, it would immediately start losing altitude. And because of its heavy weight, aerodynamic drag would make it impossible for it to fly through the gap like we see in the movie. With no wings, no propulsion, and gravity working against it, the car would fall far short of the second building. Sorry, Dom, but the laws of physics aren't on your side here. Myth: you can survive a nuclear blast by hiding in a fridge, from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Ah, the famous nuking the fridge scene from Indiana Jones. Indy survives a nuclear explosion by hiding in a lead-lined fridge that gets thrown miles by the blast. But could this really save you? Here's the deal. Nuclear blasts create an immense shockwave, heat, and radiation. The blast alone would launch the fridge like a missile. If Indy were inside, the violent force would cause him to break bones or suffer fatal injuries. And let's not forget about the heat. The temperature near the epicenter of a nuclear explosion can reach millions of degrees, way more than enough to turn the fridge and everything inside it into molten slag. Even if the fridge somehow protected him from radiation, the explosion and heat would be impossible to survive. So while it's a fun scene, hiding in a fridge won't save you from a nuke. Myth: human body can survive being frozen and revived. From Captain America, the First Avenger. Captain America is one of the most beloved superheroes, but his origin story has one major scientific flaw. After crashing into the icy waters, Steve Rogers is frozen for decades and then revived with no lasting damage. But can a human body really survive freezing and come back to life? When the body freezes, ice crystals form inside cells, damaging tissues beyond repair. Even with the best cryogenic techniques, current science can't freeze and revive a human without causing severe tissue damage. While some animals, like certain frogs, can survive freezing due to antifreeze-like chemicals in their bodies, humans aren't so lucky. So as much as we love Captain America, this one is pure fiction. Freezing a human body and bringing it back unharmed is well beyond our current science. Myth: pulling the pin on a grenade causes a delayed explosion. From Saving Private Ryan and Die Hard. Movies like Saving Private Ryan and Die Hard make it look like you've got plenty of time to pull the pin on a grenade, throw it, and run to safety. But is that really how grenades work? In reality, the pin is only a safety mechanism. Once the pin is pulled and the lever, called the spoon, is released, the fuse starts burning, and you only have about 3 to 5 seconds before it explodes. You definitely don't have time for dramatic pauses or to cook the grenade like they show in the movies. Grenades are designed to explode quickly once armed, so if you're pulling the pin in real life, you better be ready for what's coming next, and fast. Myth: spacesuits instantly freeze or explode in space. From Total Recall and Gravity. Space is often depicted as instantly deadly in movies like Total Recall and Gravity. Characters are exposed to the vacuum of space and either freeze solid or explode within seconds. But let's clear this up. What really happens when you're exposed to space? In reality, you wouldn't explode, and you wouldn't freeze immediately. The vacuum of space means there's no air pressure, so your body would swell slightly, but you'd remain intact. You'd lose consciousness in about 15 seconds due to lack of oxygen, and your body temperature would remain stable for a while, as space is a poor conductor of heat. Contrary to what we see in movies, freezing or exploding instantly is just a myth. You'd survive a brief exposure to space, but you'd still need help pretty quickly. So there you have it, 5 famous movie myths busted by science. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more myth-busting content. See you next time.